Longhair here in the house, and we're doing something different today. I got my good buddy Grim. Sir, I hope you liked your Sir Grim of Dark Titan or Knight of Dark Titan. I don't know. I had fun with it.
Sure.
How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here. I'm a big fan of science fiction, and
me too.
I was excited when they announced Alien Earth, only because we all know how Covenant went. So
Covenant was weird, man.
yeah, we all know how Covenant went, and I wanted something to kind of bring me back a little, to more of the origins of what Aliens felt like. So I was very excited. So when you said, "Oh, I want to talk about Alien Earth," I was like, "Oh shit, I'll talk about Alien Earth. Sure, why not?" So
102, but I don't think that counts. Okay.
Right. So I mean, just the context for all those out there. My name is Grim. I am the principal editor and producer for Vera Dark, Dark Titan Media. I'm the one that posts her 2 to 5 videos a day that she records.
Yeah.
I edit them.
2 to 5. Jeez.
Yeah, she does 2 to 5 videos a day, and she streams almost 6 days a week. She's currently streaming right now. She's streaming Fatal Frame. So she's live right now.
Nice.
Well, she is, but then again, she is live every day. So that, it's kind of hard not for her to be live.
Yeah, I try to stop in when I can.
Yeah. I got you. So offline, for those who want to know, why do I love science fiction so much? Because I'm a scientist. I'm a research professor in astrophysics, right?
Yeah.
So my areas of expertise is radio astronomy and radio telescopes. So I peer review for those. So I love science fiction on top of, real science and real physics and real astronomy. So that's why I love to talk about this stuff.
Hell yeah. Give me a second here. I'm trying to get the... Okay. There we go. Say something?
I'm here. Hi.
Oh, beautiful. I finally got my headphones on. You sound way clearer now.
Oh, cool. Again, sorry. I'm actually in my office in Boston right now, so I'm talking to you on my phone.
Nice. Oh, no, you're clear. It's just like
okay.
my audio setup, that's all.
I do have my Surface with me in case I need to go to a laptop. So I do have access to a laptop. So.
Oh, perfect. You know what? We're gonna get there. I will try to remember to say, hey, we're getting into spoilers. So I guess I don't really formulate my stuff, but I guess we should probably do not the spoilers first. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, sure. I got you. Yeah.
So with Covenant though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Covenant. It didn't feel. I did like Prometheus. I just want to say that I did enjoy Prometheus a lot more than I enjoyed Covenant. Right. I felt like Covenant got without even giving Covenant spoilers. I'm not even going to do that. I just felt like Covenant was too far out there with the story. Right. I didn't know where it was going. It was very confusing, and trying to connect it back to all the other Alien canon was just kind of difficult for me. Like it just didn't connect. And that's the best way for me to describe it. It didn't connect.
Right. And then was it God, what was the other movie that they just recently did before this?
Romulus.
It was, Romulus. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we're not into spoilers yet, but that's a different show. That one was... You were trying to do like a teen rom-com / teen horror with it.
Absolutely, right.
It was just weird.
It was like they were trying to they tried to take... So Romulus was part alien, part aliens. We're talking about the atmospheric differences between the Ridley Scott Alien movie and the James Cameron movie, and the action that was in the James Cameron movie, and they tried to put both of those elements in Romulus, but then they took that and smashed that into teenagers in space.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly, and it just didn't make sense. I don't. Can I talk about it? God, the problem I had.
Go ahead, because I think it's important that, you know, if we're talking about Alien Earth, I think it's fair to examine anything in the Alien canon. Okay. You know what I mean? I think it's fair.
Yeah. It's just I didn't want to get into spoilers yet, but it's not spoilers on Alien Earth, so I'm just gonna say my quick little spoiler. With that story, you start off with this teenager and her supposed brother that's glitchy and weird because he's an android. They make that pretty clear, the first few minutes.
The timeline. Romulus takes place before. It takes place after Alien, but before Aliens.
See, that's the other thing too, is the timeline is like all over the place, and like it doesn't really make sense with canon. Well,
do prequels ever make sense?
Yeah, true.
You know, like I find that constantly doing prequels, and what's the king of prequels in science fiction is Star Trek, right? Because everything's a prequel in Star Trek. You know, so yeah, so you're right. You almost, to really understand where each movie and property sits in Alien, it's like you got to Google, give me a timeline for all Alien movies.
So, in Romulus, so we're thank you for clarifying. We're between Alien and Aliens,
right? In Romulus,
correct. And this time, it's not associated with Ridley at all, or was it Ridley? That's her name, right?
Ripley. You talking about Ripley?
Ripley. Thank you.
Ripley.
Doesn't have anything to do with Ripley.
During Romulus, Ripley is in her cryo chamber floating in space.
Ah, okay.
Because it's after she ejected from the Nostromo.
Right.
And the Nostromo was destroyed, and she is drifting in space, which she did so for, what was it, 70 years? I forget the exact amount of time. Remember, there's 70 years between Alien and Aliens, where Ripley drifted in an escape pod in cryo.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Because they kind of talk about it like right at the beginning of Aliens. Yeah. So with Romulus, again, cover your ears if you haven't seen Romulus, I guess. But she goes.
It is a couple years old. It's a couple years old now. So.
Yeah, I know, right? So in that movie, she's trying to get off world. The way that Weyland does their contracts is very interesting because they put you in cryo, thaw you in the future, and most people that work for Weyland, as we're finding out, you know, they get shares of the company for payment. Is kind of what was alluded. Yeah. So people have weird lifetimes.
In the entire Alien universe, once the companies took over, because keep in mind, for those who don't remember, the Earth is ruled by companies. It's a corporatocracy. The Earth is not ruled by governments anymore. And Weyland Yutani, which is the main protagonist company of the Alien movie, also the biggest of the companies, is the company we're referring to. And it's the company that owns North and South America and some other spots on the Earth. And they also own Mars, and they own Saturn.
Hi, Hayley.
The what?
Go ahead. I was just saying hi to Hayley. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, if you want to say hi to people in chat, definitely do so.
You know, I should probably do that.
Yeah. Because I see people chatting. So.
Oh yeah. So Genesis, we're not to that yet, but I was just trying to make a point on Romulus, and we're kind of getting into the lore, which I absolutely love. So yeah, and don't worry, we haven't really got to that point yet. We're just kind of talking about the world that the whole franchise is about. So look. Now, going back to, so good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Hayley, thanks for hanging out. Much appreciated. And William, too. So in Romulus, they're in these long-ass contracts, and she pretty much fulfilled her contract of being stuck on this with Scrap World, or I forget where they're at. But and
they were mining. I forget what they were mining. But they were mining.
Yeah, and basically they gave her some BS and says, you're not out of contract, you can't leave the planet, get to work. And then what she do? She goes, hangs out with her teenage buddies, and they leave the planet. I'm like, what?
Yeah, they just steal a ship, and they take off.
I mean, is it their ship? Did they steal? I don't know.
They stole it. It was stolen.
Oh, okay. Because I was just like, wouldn't security step in? Wouldn't they have like a security force or something? If they did steal the ship, wouldn't they all, hey, what are you doing? You know, nothing. They get off scotch-free and then end up on well, it was a crashing ship that was going to crash into the planet. I know I don't want to give out the whole movie, but I mean, after that, there's really no plot, so it doesn't matter. But,
right. Except killing aliens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And which is fine. I mean,
well, it's like killing xenomorphs, but yeah.
Yeah, and they kind of hinted that there were other aliens aboard there, as well as, you know, a bunch of face huggers and alien stuffs, you know, because they want to. Yeah. They want to use the alien, you know, quotation marks technology to, you know, for bioweapons and all kinds of crap. Whatever, you know, it's a typical corporate.
So, you know, for those who are still kind of new to the alien world, Weyland-Yutani, the company that we're talking about, they want they're trying to get aliens from all different alien species from all across the galaxy to use as bioweapons, and the xenomorphs is one that they really want.
Yeah, and also the owner, through his variations, you know, he's also, his main goal is to, you know, find eternal life and extend his life.
Well, so canon wise, Weyland disappears in Prometheus, remember?
Okay.
He was on the Prometheus ship, the last Weyland, right? And what happens in 2099, Yutani, the company Yutani, run by the Yutani matriarchy, does a hostile takeover of Weyland. And then it becomes that's where Weyland-Yutani is born. Because before 2099, Weyland,
I remember seeing the logo, it just says Weyland.
Yeah, right. Before so in Prometheus it just says Weyland Corp, because there's no Weyland-Yutani yet.
Oh, okay.
Where when you watch the original 1970s Alien movie, which was about Ripley, that company is Weyland-Yutani. Well, it's because during the events of Prometheus, there was no Weyland-Yutani yet, because Weyland, the last Weyland, was on the Prometheus ship. Do you remember the Prometheus movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, and remember he comes out, he was hiding on the ship, and he dies. Yep. After that, in 2099, the company Yutani does a hostile takeover of the company Weyland, therefore making the company Weyland-Yutani, which was basically the most powerful company on the planet, and one of the major players. There's four major there's five now with Alien Earth. But before
we'll get there on the spoilers, but
I don't think that really spoils the story of the show. That's just kind of more background story for the world. So they, with Alien Earth, they added a company to the mix, because before Alien Earth, the Earth was ruled by 4 companies, or I should say humanity. Because remember, there's off-world colonies, there's Mars, there's Saturn, there's colonization of other planets. So we'll just call it humanity. Humanity's was ruled by 4 companies, which Weyland-Yutani was the biggest. So Yutani, at the point of after 2099, is controlled by the Yutani family, who are Japanese. Because they do the hostile takeover on Weyland. So then it becomes Weyland-Yutani.
Yeah. And it's interesting. The rhyme list was interesting, but it's just the I don't know, man.
The dynamic of teens in space.
Yeah,
didn't do it for me.
Yeah, not really. No. Seeing the labs and stuff like that, they kind of stayed true to form. So I was like, that's cool, and I can appreciate it just for that. But otherwise, rom-com, team horror, and the sub story of the androids acting, bro. It was really hard to follow. My dad, like, he likes some more complicated, like, he doesn't do the complicated sci-fis anymore, and he just kind of tuned out. Like, he could not hang with Alien Earth. Like, we got through the first episode, and he says, I'm good. I'm like, I kind of agree with you, but, that Squid Eye is awesome. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
So this is a prequel, right? Or
this is
no?
This is a prequel
it's
to the Alien movie, but not a prequel to the canon of Aliens, because the prequel to the canon is Prometheus. Prometheus is the first. So if you're looking at the timeline, Prometheus happened, I think, in 2093. I don't know the exact dates. But I think Prometheus takes place in 2093, and then Covenant takes place in 2102 or 03. So this would be the third event.
Okay.
Because this takes place in 2120. That is the date at the beginning of Alien Earth. It is 2120. So it is the third event. It is the third in the chronological order of the Alien properties. It would be third. And 2120. Now, the next thing to take place would be the launch of the Nostromo, which was the ship that was in the original Alien movie, the first movie, the Ridley Scott movie. And that ship is a freighter that is launched in 2122.
Okay. Wow. I'm glad you're on, dude, because I am not that lore heavy, but I'm loving it, man. I love lore.
To be fair, Vara did a review of Alien Earth with the show she does with Wicked Virtue. So on Wednesdays she has a podcast called the Vara and Virtue podcast, and they did a whole breakdown of the Alien universe on that podcast. It was a couple weeks ago they did it.
So you already have all the notes. Awesome.
Well, and also I'm a fanish of Aliens, so I've watched all these movies, so
nice.
And I have a relatively good memory when it comes to sci-fi, because I love sci-fi.
Oh yeah. So let's just do a quick overview, not talking about spoilers, but just kind of like your generalization. Like, what did you think of Alien Earth as a whole?
I liked it. Especially, I'm not gonna, again, no spoilers. My favorite episode was episode 5, because episode 5 really made you feel like you were in that original Alien movie, the Ridley Scott movie, which I really love that movie. I think that movie is like a piece of science fiction masterpiece, right? One of Ridley Scott's best movies. I also love Blade Runner. I thought Blade Runner was a great movie. He did Blade Runner too, but I felt that like episode 5 was so well done to mimic the atmosphere that Ridley Scott created in that first Alien movie, and I really applaud the writers. I think a lot of I think overall the dialogue in Alien Earth I think is fine. I know sometimes some of the characters can feel a little wonky because I don't know how not you have to the way that some of the synthetics and you're going to know why I don't want to spoil it talk can sometimes feel a little wonky because of who they are, right? There's a specific reason why that is, right? And if you want to talk about it later, we can talk about it later because it is kind of giving a couple some spoils away to just why they talk the way they do. But I understand why they wrote it that way. So, and I think that they did the best job they could with representing what they had to represent that was in the story. So I think the writing overall wasn't bad. And like I said, I really that episode 5 really hit it for me. My issue is, and this is going to be an issue with a lot of shows, the cliffhanger ending. Now, I went into Alien Earth originally not having researched, what the plans for this show are going to be. So I didn't know going into it that they had actually talked about it being a 2-season affair, at least a 2-season affair. I didn't know that. So I thought going into it that I was going to get a complete story, right? Another complete story like another Alien movie, except it was going to be, what was this? This was 8 episodes, right? So I thought I was going to get a complete Alien story in 8 episodes. And we didn't get that.
No.
We didn't get that. And that kind of really annoyed me. Where the ending is such a cliffhanger that it's pointing towards that season 1 of Alien Earth is only half of this story.
It feels like they could have gone 2 seasons, but because they do with shows nowadays, you're lucky to get 8 episodes, it seems, or 8 seems to be the magic number nowadays. It just seems like it's half a season, like overall.
It felt the episode 8 felt like it should have been episode 5 or 6. I feel like in the show, as in the story of the show, that where we were at episode 8 should have been where we were at episode, say, 5, as far as how the story was going along, so that we could have gotten a complete story out of season 1. And there is talk. I do want to mention there is talk about Alien Earth season 2, and the thing is, it hasn't been written, or if it's being written, it's being written now. Keep in mind the writer that wrote Alien Earth is the same writer who writes Fargo for FX.
Oh, okay.
And Fargo is a massive hit for FX. I think it's FX's biggest show, right? And Alien Earth is an FX show. So they've now got to decide, is he going to write season 6 of Fargo? Or is he going to write season 2 of Alien Earth? Right? Because he can't write both at the same time. Right? So we have to see what happens. I've read some sources that say, no, they, before they do season 6 of Fargo, they really want to bang out Alien Earth 2, but there's no confirmation coming from FX or Disney, the owners of Alien Earth, that's the direction that they're going. So that's just what people who say, I know a person who knows a person, has said. Well, FX really wants him to bang out Alien Earth 2 before he gets to Fargo season 6. Maybe that's what happens. That's what I hope happens, because I want to see Alien Earth season 2. So we'll have to wait and see, right? But nevertheless, we're not going to get Alien Earth season 2, if we do, until the end of 2027. That would be the earliest we'd see it.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Oh, okay. There you go. So, well, hi TCU. Okay, so my brief overview of it, and here is a spoiler. It's not much of a spoiler, but dude, chill on Peter Pan, bro. Oh my god. Right? I mean, dude, we get it.
I just want to mention, I'm not going to spoil this movie either. Another Disney property, but Tron Ares, which I just saw last night, is another Peter Pan movie.
Oh God. Okay.
Without telling you the story of the movie, I'm just going to say Ares is the Peter Pan. He wants to be alive. And that is all the story I'm going to give you for that movie, in case you want to see it.
That's fair. But they just stress it all throughout the show. And it's like, okay, God, because nowadays they tell you stuff, like they info dump on you instead of like showing it really, or make you guess.
They give you the entire story in the trailer, and then you go and watch it, and you're like, there was nothing else? What? That just seems to be Hollywood's MO today. Like, everything's in the trailer, and then there's nothing else. And you're like, oh, what the hell? What the hey, man?
Yeah. And it just, anyways. So overall, again, the only reason why I'm still watching, besides, I'm sadistic and like to torture myself, it is because of the alien eyeball squid thingy. That thing's awesome. But other than that, chill on the Peter Pan. Some of the characterizations and the character development was weird, and some of the premises is weird.
Especially with the synthetics.
Yeah. They skirted a very strange line there, so it's like I feel a little awkward.
Right, and I think to really describe it to people listening, you're going to have to spoil why. I don't know how else to talk about it.
Yeah. I guess we'll get back to the talking point.
Yeah.
But it's interesting overall. Honestly, you could just chill on some popcorn and watch it. It's fine. If you're looking for a really in-depth story, throughout the series, they just kind of spell it out, and then you don't really. I don't know. It's just. Anyways,
so I know
problems.
You mentioned about the, and I agree with you. The references to Peter Pan are a little bit overboard in it, but one of the themes that is kind of part of the Alien universe is the fact that the company Weyland-Yutani is not only searching for bioweapons, but they're also searching for immortality.
Yeah, eternal life.
Eternal life.
Exactly. That's always been the premise. Yeah.
Right.
And
so that's why the whole...
Yeah. But still, chill, dude. We get it. Okay. We get it. All right, cool. Let's move on with the start. No, more Peter Pan. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
More Peter Pan. Look, they're showing on the screen.
The Peter Pan book a lot.
Yeah.
Throughout the series. Or point to it a lot.
Yeah, and it's beyond obvious. Like, dude, chill. All right. but overall, it's not bad. I like some key points, like you said. Episode 5, almost if you watch it do screen by screen, it's almost like they're really hitting hard on the nostalgia, but it's almost frame for frame in some of that episode. It's kind of weird, but anyways, overall,
how they bring back that 1970s future retro future aesthetic, because the computers that are in Alien, not all of them, but a lot of them are retro futuristic,
right?
So, which I think is great, because it's trying to represent and stay in line with even the original Alien movie.
Yeah, and they do on that episode, like a lot, almost frame for frame in some of the things. But yeah, it just feels like it was a half season. And the cliffhanger, really, we kind of knew it was going that direction. So it was just kind of like, oh, okay. They went that direction, and that's it. Oh, okay. They want to do season 2. Okay.
And they say they want to do season 2, but there's no confirmation of a season 2 existing, other than people have said that other people have said that they want to get the writer on to writing season 2, right? But again, FX's biggest show is Fargo, and he's the writer for Fargo.
Yeah.
So,
we'll see how that works out.
Right. We have to wait and see how that works out. When is the season 2 going to appear? And again, I had mentioned I went into this not having that information. I really thought, and I was hoping I was going to get a full story out of these 8 episodes.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a mini-series, and then on to the next project, but no.
And then on to the next Alien project, exactly. But no, it didn't. It felt like it ended in the middle of a story. So
yeah,
I was thoroughly disappointed when that happened.
Right. And we're hitting a lot of the talking points that I kind of want to get into, so screw it. It is now spoiler. We're getting into the spoilers, guys. So if you want to watch it, honestly, with the spoilers, you can still watch it. You're not gonna miss much, because they literally spell it out to you anyways. Like episode 1, they pretty much get into the history like immediately. And they give you the overview that you kind of gave earlier in this particular show. So they spell out everything for you. So there's really no guesswork.
The first thing I want to mention is we had kind of talked about this a little before we went live, which is the nature of prequels, right? And how prequels end up adding things that don't seem to exist later in the canon. And the one thing that this show adds later to the story is a 5th company.
Yes.
So Aliens has always been about these 4 companies that own different parts of the earth. They're basically the world governments.
Right.
And this show introduces a new 5th company that can't exist by the time the Nostromo launches in 2 years.
Yeah.
So that's why when I was watching this show, I literally thought, I'm going to tell you what I thought the ending was going to be.
Okay.
Okay, because it's not the ending, right? It's not the ending we got. That Weyland Yutani was going to nuke Prodigy.
Yes, that is the company we're talking about. Yes.
Right, Weyland Yutani.
The 5th company.
Right. Prodigy is the 5th company, the new company that they added to the canon that does not exist anymore when the Nostromo launches. So that company has to be wiped off the face of the earth, and then their assets, which are mostly Asia-based, they own, I think they own East Asia. So all the East Asian countries like Malaysia, Thailand, the Philippines, the Philippine Islands, that's the area of the world that Prodigy owns. That company has to be destroyed by the end of Alien Earth's story for it to fit in to the canon of Alien.
Yeah. And they gave it an easy out, but it doesn't explain you know, why there's no mention of this fifth company or any of its products at all. So, yeah, it's you look at this company, honestly, even if they don't do season 2, the ending kind of made sense of how this we have no recollection of this company. So there you go. There's the big spoiler at the end there. But I don't know, man. You're right. It threw me for a loop too, because I watched all the movies. I'm not a big lore expert, but it just didn't make sense why all of a sudden there's this fifth company. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like own a lot. He has the island and something else.
Well, no, he owns East Asia.
I'm asking. Grim?
Oh, hello?
Oh, sorry, that's me. 1 second. Check. Okay.
Are you okay? Something wrong with your sound
my
system?
audio. There you are. Yeah, just my sound glitch. Sorry about that. Anyways, what were you saying?
He Prodigy owns East Asia. They own like Singapore, like where the city of Singapore is. They own Malaysia. They own Thailand. They owned the Philippines. That's the area of the world that Prodigy owns.
Yes.
In Alien Earth.
And what we see here, I don't know. Props to IO9.
And by the way, it was actually filmed in Thailand.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, those crazy tropical beach scenes and everything.
Yeah,
that are in the show. Those were all filmed in Thailand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it because like it was very dense jungle island that they're on. So, very very interesting in that regard. Well, pictured here is the dude. I'm horrible at names. So what was his name?
He was the Genius Cavalier. They just called him.
Okay, and
youngest trillionaire on the planet Earth.
Yes, and he sells products, and his whole thing is we get to see him messing with cyborgs or synthetics.
Synthetics. And he doesn't have cyborgs.
Oh, okay. I'm still confused between cyborgs and synthetics, but
synthetics are
one guy is a cyborg, right?
Yeah. Right. The Wayland, the pilot that survived the crash from the Wayland Yutani ship, he's a cyborg. So he's a human that has robotic parts installed in him.
There he is. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's part human, part robot because he was born a human being. A synthetic, which is Kirsch, which is the white-haired dude in the corner. He is a synthetic, and a synthetic is completely a robot, an AI robot.
Right.
Which synthetics, which are AI and robots in the alien universe, are self-aware and conscious. So they're living AI.
Yeah. And so that's his, I guess, his security guy. This guy here is the cyborg, pseudo cyborg. In the middle here, we start off the story with the little girl who's dying of cancer or some major medical thing. They basically implant her mind into the synthetic. And
they imprint her. they copy the memories from her brain.
Yeah.
And they put them on a synthetic's brain.
Right. Basically, USB, flip it a couple times, plug it in, transfer your files over, bam, you're now a synthetic. Well, sort of, but yes. So, basically, they're trying to extend life, and that will be the newest product that they're working on, and that's where we're at. And lo and behold, it starts off with the girl. She's getting moved over. I think we start with the crash. I think, right? Yeah.
Yes, the Weyland-Yutani carrier, science. If this is a Weyland-Yutani science vessel that was sent out to collect biological specimens from other planets.
Correct. And again, they spell it out for you. They really do. The first episode, they crash, and they're responding. God, they have all these alien, different, not just the xenomorphs,
and where they crash is important to the story.
Right.
They crashed into a prodigy city.
Yes, to a prodigy city, and more remote from that city is pretty much the main base, the base of operations. So, sorry. So we're dealing with the crash. They kind of skip between them imprinting this 12, I assume 12-year-old into this robotic but adult synthetic body. And, then they slam us with all the Peter Pan references, and they literally spell it out for you as it goes. Like, you can't miss much unless you're not paying attention, but even if you aren't, they probably bring it up again. It's like, okay.
Well, the synthetics that are the transfer children, they act very childish for most of the show. They have a very childlike, confused outlook on everything that's going on, which is why a lot of their dialogue is a little wonky.
No, I get that. A lot of people don't get it, but they're not adults. They are 12-year-olds. They're between 9 and 12, is my understanding.
Right, 9 and 12. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then they bring them into. Oh man. Okay, I'm skipping ahead. Anyways, so that's the main thing is you have these kids. They're teaching the kids and doing experiments, and it's really weird when you think about it, because you're not looking at adults here. They are all 9 to 12-year-olds, and they're in this world, and that's the acting, and I think they did pretty good for that. I mean, it's just weird and offsetting, but
right. So that's why I used the word, like, the dialogue and how they acted was a little wonky. But again, we have to take into account that they're the minds of a lot of them 9-year-olds have just been uploaded into an adult synth body.
Correct.
So their outlook on the world, how they view the world, is initially still like it was when they were a 9-year-old.
Right. And the reason why you can't just dump an adult body in there was because their brain's not squishy enough, I think was what he said.
Yeah, well, he said that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He said not squishy enough, meaning he was referring to the fact that an adult's mind is too solidified on its thinking and can't mold to the synthetic's brain. So he was claiming that it's not possible to do.
Right. So you have that, and then you have the
although he was searching for a way to dump adults' minds into synthetics, but he hadn't gotten there yet, and this was his first step, was to at least be able to transfer over a child's mind into, like, to dump it into a synthetics. So this was kind of like the first step in the direction of being able to transfer anybody's mind into a synthetic.
Correct. And the guy is basically a commentary on Mark Zuckerberg a little bit. I mean, hell, he almost looks like him. So, a eccentric multi-gazillionaire pretty much. Let me get back to him. But yeah, so we have that storyline of them basically doing this grand experiment, and his next step in the stepping stone of eternal life is, and he's close to it, and that's amazing. They make him very eccentric, and he's a weirdo, a adult kid, and that's fine. Then they slam you with more Peter Pan. I think they do another scene and slam you with more Peter Pan, and then another scene and slam you with more Peter Pan. But yeah, so I don't know how this is going. This is all top of my head. But what was one of the talking points we were talking about earlier? The creepiness with the 12-year-olds. That's just, they bring him in and they want Wendy, the main character, this girl. She's basically the head person.
Her name is Wendy only because of
Peter Pan.
Wendy
Yes.
from Peter Pan.
Exactly. I forget her regular name. Or her name before.
Marcy.
Okay, so Marcy. We find out what her folks passed, or they got into the program, and her brother works on the island.
Yes, her brother. Is a first responder for Prodigy.
Correct. And we as the show progresses, we start off with first responders going and checking out the crash, trying to save people. And, of course, the alien xenomorph is on the loose. So, there you go. The security guard, he's kind of an a-hole. We think he's an a-hole. He follows he's the main guy, or security guy, or what was his thing? Like,
are you talking about the cyborg?
The cyborg, yeah.
Yeah, he was a Weyland-Yutani security guard. He was running security on the biological alien recovery mission, and it was a 65-year mission. So that ship had been sent out 65 years prior to collect the biological specimens.
Right.
So it was actually sent out by the Yutani. It was actually sent out by the current CEO of Weyland-Yutani's grandmother.
Yeah. Yeah. So his job, of course, is to secure the assets and get them to Weyland-Yutani. So pretty simple. They spell it out again. And he pretty much disposes with the crew, like, very cold-heartedly. It's like, wow, okay. And we get into the whole reason of why they specifically crashed on the main hubbub of Prodigy. That's shared and spelled out for us. But yeah, it starts off with that. You got between the two scenes, you got between like episode 1 to 2 and 3 is basically them getting through the ship. They get the kids involved, which A+ effort for parenting. Sure, let's go send a bunch of 12-year-olds to, or 9 to 12-year-olds to clarify, to go see what's up with the ship and steal Weyland-Yutani stuff.
To be clear, they are in robotic bodies that are multiple times stronger than human beings.
Oh yeah.
They are very hard to kill, or I should say destroy. So
I mean, it makes sense. but it's just kind of funny that you literally just rehatch them. They're new in synthetic bodies, and sure, go send them on a mission. Let's go.
Right,
you
right.
know,
No, I got you. I got you. They
yeah,
mentally clearly were not ready to go on that mission.
right. I mean, Wendy's a little gung ho, but okay, she's adventurous and stuff like that. So I guess so. She convinces them that that's cool, and they're just like, "Well, we'll send our main synth guy to monitor them," and they're still doing their development therapy sessions. Of course, that's one of the keynotes. Just to throw it in there. um, and they did follow the typical plug and play a little bit of let's see, we had therapy sessions, right, and the other one was a ball. They did have a ball scene because remember the little mini party
Yeah.
of that weird guy in the apartment. I think it was
Yeah.
episode 2 or 3. Yes, so the ball scene was there, bro. A little bit of self-inserting, but anyways, so they send the kids to retrieve what they can. The first responders are in there. Some of them are getting wrecked by the alien xenomorph that just
And
running willy nilly, free in the ship.
The xenomorph starts running around the building.
Yep.
That the ship crashed into.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun. I mean, and alarming. You have all these specimens crashing on Earth, and it's just like, wait, don't they want to protect Earth? Okay. So the kids are in there, and they retrieve. She ends up finding her brother because she finds out her brother's there. The thing is that she can just instantly hack whatever. And like, oh, okay. I guess realistically, I guess it's possible, but she could just hack into any security where she's been peeping on her brother, all that. So
yeah, she can. She can apparently access anything on a network and control it.
yes,
So she's like a super AI.
yes, and so she's got that super trait. She can just hack into whatever, manipulate anything that's on a network. So she could do whatever she wants in that regard at any time, basically. So we find that out. She rescues your brother. Cool. They all go back to base, and you can watch the show. That all develops again. They spell out everything, so you're not gonna miss a dang thing if you go get some popcorn and come back. You're not gonna miss anything really, because they'll bring it up. Was there anything that you wanted to point out? Like, I think we're up to like 3 now.
No, keep going.
Okay. So in what I think 4 and 5 is when they get back to home base. The security guy is also out there trying to retrieve assets.
The Weyland-Yutani security.
Weyland-Yutani, yeah, right. And he's retrieving assets after the android crew comes in and retrieves what they can. One of the kids is, let's see here. She, mentally, was she 9 to 12? I forget the age. But you're being exposed to all these weird creatures, people being torn up, and all that. Mentally, that's hard to take for anyone. So, yeah, she ends up flipping, and then you have the security guy from Weyland-Yutani manages to tap into one of the kids and gets the kids to basically break down the security in the base, and then
which the Prodigy Synth science director Kirsch knew.
Knew it. Plain as day. Was able to tap in, no problem, and he kind of let it happen. That's what was kind of weird.
He did let it happen, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I wonder what his motive was. Like, okay. I mean, he followed the orders, but yeah. And then we get into 5 and 6 where they wrap up to the ending, which is abrupt, but after fighting the alien, we find out that she could talk to the aliens, and
Which I
basically the
don't. Which
alien's a
they haven't
lapdog.
explained that.
No, but she could talk to him. Like, oh,
Right.
okay,
She's a synthetic
yeah, we can
that
talk to
can
aliens.
speak xenomorph.
Yeah,
What?
exactly. It was like, okay. Yeah, no, I liked it, Brian. Dilbrain, excuse me. Yeah, I liked it. I have my issues. That's kind of what we're getting into right now. Is just like, yeah. He used the info to flip that invasion. Yeah. That's what we learned in 5. It was episode 5, I guess it was. Yeah.
Except at the end of episode 8,
Yeah.
Wayland Yutani has a strike force flying into Prodigy.
Yep. And they basically cut off all communication. This is them literally
Wayland
doing
Yutani,
a corporate takeover.
Yeah, Wayland Yutani basically they cut off all outside communications that Prodigy has, and they have an entire strike force flying in.
And more coming.
Right, and more coming. Well, a strike force appears on the beach, right? But they're just like a force. They're like force recon, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're like the first ones to go in. But behind them is an entire strike force.
Yep.
Ships full of synthetics and soldiers and whatnot.
Oh yeah, they're just invading. I mean, they're just taking it over. They're taking over the corporate headquarters. They're getting their assets
Brian
back.
MTG says she has abilities. See, this is the issue. She has ability. She's a synthetic. She's not a biological person.
Correct.
There's nothing biological in her. So I'm not sure what abilities refers to, right? The only abilities that she can have are ones that are derived from AI or software. So how can she access and control all of the computer networks that are around her? And how can she suddenly speak xenomorph?
Yeah.
Like it's not explained.
Right. And it wasn't like the scientists were able to break down their language. I mean, I guess she could learn it from recordings. I mean, she can access wherever the hell she wants, basically. But there was no program or protocol or anything like that of them breaking down communication at all in any of the scientifical stuff, I mean, that I saw in any of the movies. So it's like, okay. I mean, she could learn it from if they filmed or were filming the alien, I guess. But it just seems kind of like a weak way of going about it. But Dilbrain does have a good point. That's what I'm saying. That's why KrisP let communication between the kid and the Wayland cyborg. He used it to flip over Yutani's invasion. Yep.
But so the Yutani invasion that he flipped was only the forced recon. So those were the forced recon soldiers that came in initially on the beach to help the cyborg. He hasn't, at the end of the show, he hasn't flipped anything. He's broken, tied up by Wendy, while a Wayland Yutani strike force is literally flying to the island.
Yeah.
So whatever KrisP planned didn't pan out for him.
Yeah, exactly. And why would she not be able to? No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I just explained. As a week.
Because it's insinuated by the boy Cavalier that she's not supposed to be able to do that. The boy Cavalier designed Wendy's body. He designed the software that uploaded Wendy into that body. He designed the cybernetics that were in that synth. And none of that is understood by him. He doesn't understand how she can do any of that. And he designed all of the hardware you're referring to that's new.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still unexplained. So
I was just throwing siding with the Dilbrain here that he disagrees. Hardware's new. She can adopt and learn. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. But it was just kind of they didn't show that.
Yeah, they didn't show that. They didn't show that she had an adaptive algorithm that was beyond what the current learning algorithms are, right? They didn't get into that, and that would have been fine if they did that. If they just
It would have
if they
been.
would have shown,
Even if it was a quick scene of her, like,
right,
scanning a bunch of books or a bunch of the alien stuff super quick, like they showed her doing with other things, trying to find her brother. Like they could have done that real quick, and that would have like, oh, okay, so she could pick up stuff because she learned
right.
it. Yeah,
So
that would
yeah,
have made. But they didn't do
she's
that.
remotely hacking systems. Exactly. So how does she get the ability to do that without the boy Cavalier understanding how she has the ability to do that when he's the one that designed her?
Sure, I guess it's just weak.
I
That's
don't
all I'm
know. I
saying.
think that they
It's
do
just
need to
weak.
explain it. I as a
Yeah,
reviewer,
you're right.
I don't agree. I think that that's just like you're. I want an explanation of the story.
A little bit. I mean, they spell out everything
I don't
else.
want
Jeez.
like that kind of outlook is saying that like, oh, it's just magic.
Yeah.
It's just magic.
it,
Why did
it's
that
synth
happen?
magic. Don't trip.
Magic. It's magic. You
Yeah.
know,
No, it is different. I agree. I agree. I guess that could be the finally a mysterious element that's not spelled out to us. But like I said, it wouldn't take much effort to explain it a little bit. Like, oh, okay, so that's how she figured it out.
let's
Oh,
let's say that it comes down to that when the writer writes it, he does write it as some I don't know some mystical connection that she somehow forms.
Oh
I
no, it
mean
doesn't.
that
No, that's
right.
not the. That's not it, bro. No. I'm just saying it's just kind of weird. Yeah, she just has them. That's all. And she can communicate with the aliens. Okay, so that's a thing. Moving on. The alien is a lapdog. Like what, dude? Okay. Sure.
The alien, the xenomorph, kind of
Yeah.
responds to her, and I know she's talking to the and giving the xenomorph
Mm-hmm.
um, like commands or asking it to do things. And
Yeah.
remember when they were in the jungle and she
Yeah.
talked to it, and then it went away, and um, one of the other ones asked her, "Well, what did you say to it?" She said, "Well, I said to it to stand back and watch us, I think."
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot to say about the comment where she said, "I think," because it means that she's not even sure what's going on.
No, wait. Are you? I don't know where you're coming from now, Ed. Put it this way: you drop wetware brain into a whole pile of crazy technology. You think she doesn't have a wireless modem, crazy hearing, advanced memory banks? Um, I, she's got to be able to connect to Wi-Fi. So that can
Well,
explain some of it. But
so the synths can wirelessly connect. So that's established. I'm not sure
okay,
where the miscommunication is on that. It is established that the synths can wirelessly connect to the networks that are on the base.
yeah, like I said, they get on
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
that's not
Yeah,
that that's not that's not up for that's not even debated. That's already known. The
yeah,
point is, though, that she can hack and control and override every security system.
yep.
Okay, because
Mm-hmm.
like in the laboratory, all of those all you know everything in the laboratory is locked down under a
Yeah,
security system, but she can access those security systems, override them, and hack them. Right, where clearly when she does that, and especially when she opens the door to get in to the room in the eighth episode
right.
that the boy Cavalier is in, he's like, oh, right. He wasn't
Yeah,
expecting that she could do that, right?
right.
Act like, sure, all the synths can wirelessly connect to the networks, but it doesn't mean that they're supposed to be able to hack and override all the security systems and control all of the computer systems. Like, he built her, and now she can do all these things that he didn't build her to do. Clearly.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not really stuck on that. I think the main thing that we're kind of stuck on is she's just able to communicate weekly with the alien, and there's not really.
Well,
I'm just trying to think
because
logically.
The characters in the show also don't understand how she can do it. So I don't understand how it's not a sticking point for you.
Yeah.
When her designer doesn't understand how she can accomplish those things, and it has yet to be explained how she can, it is a part of the story. So her being able to connect and control all of those systems clearly needs to be written as part of the story. It needs to be an aspect of the story, and they have not included that yet.
I'm right in the middle here on that. It doesn't hold me up on her controlling and hacking systems. I mean, they all can kind of do that, and they're smart. They can kind of figure out overrides. Her synthetic part can do that for her almost. I mean, whatever. It's not that. It's just that she can communicate with the aliens. Is like, I don't know if anyone has a massive research or a ton of recordings of the aliens to where she can adapt and figure that out.
So that was
they don't explain it. It's just a little nod or something of how she figured it out. That would be cool.
This is the first appearance of a xenomorph in the alien canon. If you go chronologically, this is the first time anyone has encountered a xenomorph.
Right. And she can communicate with it and
she automatically her software, if it's a software thing, right? Because who knows? Maybe the writer, I forget his name. Like I said, it's the same writer that wrote Fargo. Maybe he's going to say, it has something to do with her being part human. Even though she's not human anymore, she's a synth. But I'm just throwing out ideas because I don't know how he's going to incorporate it into the story.
Okay. Hey, that's fine. I agree with you on that. Duel doesn't think it's a big deal. He says, hey, it's a language of animals, warning sounds, attack sounds, happy sounds.
So why can none of the other synths do it?
Yeah, that's a good point. Why is only she able to do it and not the other synths?
If it's so simple, man, why can none of the other synths do it?
That's fair too.
And the main computer that Prodigy is using, their server, can't do it.
Huh. Yeah.
None of them can communicate with the xenomorph. None of them understand how to communicate with the xenomorph. She is the only one.
Yeah. And for them to learn patterns and stuff like that, I mean, they would have had to have had extensive research on the xenomorph for her to scan through super quick. They don't have that information. This is like our first exposure to it. And did they get the files off the ship? I think they got most of the files off the ship.
They did get the files off the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But would she know about those files? Because I think.
Well, she has. Remember, she has access to all of, because of her advanced hacking ability. She does have access to all of Prodigy's data.
Oh, okay. So he's saying that they did sort of explain it. So she says that she experimented and repeated back sounds. Okay.
Well, that's not exactly how it happened. That's not. I mean, I think that's a little stretch. It's not like she sat in the laboratory for hours on end trying to communicate with it.
But she could just access the network anytime and see that, I guess.
Well, she did have access to all of the Prodigy's computer records, which they took from the Weyland-Yutani ship. So
Yeah, so
anything
she
that
would
was on
stumble upon it. Yeah.
right, anything that was on the Wayland Yutani's ship that made it to the Prodigy servers, she clearly had access to.
Right. And he said that she repeated back sounds on different occasions. I do recall that. So I guess.
Well, she did, but it was still a limited amount.
It was implied.
And clearly, when she was in the jungle and she was talking to it, and she said, "I think that's what I said to it." So she still didn't have a complete grasp on what she still didn't have, 100% confidence on what she was communicating to it was actually what she was communicating to it.
Yeah. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it isn't an established pattern. Okay.
If you don't see it, I just don't agree with that. I think that's bad writing. I mean, I reviewed a lot of science fiction, and I think you're giving them a lot of breaks, man. You're giving them a lot of breaks. Too many breaks. Bad sci-fi. I've read hundreds and hundreds of science fiction books, and I would say that you're giving them a lot of breaks.
Yeah, I'm with you on some of it. Ed, I'm not like discounting what you're saying at all. It's just, to me, it's just kind of like, yeah, I guess it's just sort of weak. That's all. Like, from someone not really paying attention,
and all of this
you
will
don't get
probably
that.
be,
Yeah.
I believe, because this was never meant to be a one season only show. Apparently, that all of this and her ability to access these networks, break in computer security, and communicate with the xenomorph should be explained in season 2. You would hope,
It
right?
would be nice. It would be nice.
Right.
Yeah. I agree. It's just, I don't know. Maybe if you're not, I don't know, man. I'm not trying to be wishy washy here, but I agree with both of you because it just seems like, because she gets to do it now. No, he's saying that she did kind of toy with it a few times, and she can tap in and to the network and do whatever basically. So I guess she could have learned that way.
I mean, there was the other girl that I forget her name. She was the one that the boy Cavalier said, "You're my favorite."
Yeah.
She was also around the aliens, and because she actually was in the lab, and she didn't pick up anything from them.
No, it was just Wendy. So
right, just Wendy.
I don't think. I mean, as far as their synth body types, I mean, did he add more to her versus them? I don't think so.
So there is one specific difference I'll point out between her and the others.
Yeah.
She was the first. And I don't know what that is going to equal further down the line in the story if we do get a second season. But remember, she is the first. Wendy is the first. She was the first one to be transferred. And they do make a point of that in the story. They do talk about that Wendy, or AKA Marcy was her name, that she is the first to be transferred.
She did. Okay, the other one didn't take interest in it. Wendy did. Okay. It's called Curiosity. She's curious, so she sought answers. Okay. Well, I don't know, man. A quick little nod or see her in the process of looking at it. I mean, they could have done it in like a second, and it would have been like, oh, okay. So it just something a little bit more believable, not just that she has it and technology is why. I mean, if they just said technology is why, okay. I don't know.
Well, yeah, even something as simple as that could have been at least setting up for an explanation.
Yeah. That would have been cool. That's all I'm saying. And it didn't make sense to me that she could just instantly communicate with it. But you're right. She did, stop by and see what's up.
Well,
You know, at the
why
water cooler.
why did she take an interest in the alien in the first place? If you remember, it was because it it she started hearing the alien in her head. So
Okay. Yeah.
so and that's my problem here, and this is why I just don't agree with anything dual brain MTG is saying.
Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
so she took interest in the alien because she started to be able to hear the aliens in her head. They were
Yeah.
connecting to her. Why were they connecting to her? Then
That doesn't make
after that,
sense. They're not a network. They're not
right.
a
They're not on the computer network.
right. If
Or
it was a
hold
robot
on.
doing that,
At,
that would make
at,
sense.
at
Yeah.
least we believe they're not on the computer network. So, like I said, we don't know, right? We don't know the ultimate answer.
What did they add like put in a USB card to the alien as it's developing? I
Right.
mean, I
Well, I
guess
don't
they could
know.
have.
Well,
Yeah.
we don't know, right? Because they could write anything. They could write that the xenomorphs are interacting with the wireless connections to the network. I mean, I'm just trying to come up with ideas of how it could be, right? It could be.
No, I said that. Yes, she had a few. Like I said, she stopped by the water cooler. They had a little chat, a couple times. So I get it. He says explain the queen to it, but
those are all biological beings that are of the same
yeah,
race,
right.
right?
If they
So
were
those
like
are
a Borg race, that makes sense because she
yeah.
can hack into their network. But they're not
Yeah,
they're not
the queen is
technological that I know
connecting.
of.
It's like a queen bee. How does a queen bee in real life communicates with with the worker bees the same that the queens in Alien connect with the xenomorphs, right?
Right.
It's because they're the same race. They're all biological. We're talking about a robot connecting and communicating with the aliens like it's the queen when the robot is not the same race nor is it even a biological being that we know of so far.
Oh, okay. Duel's also a what are you, a chemist or something? I forget, but he's also a
No,
scientist.
I
Yeah.
work in physics.
Do you know our nervous system can be simulated with electricity, correct? Well, okay. So
Yeah,
what, she can remotely electrify something?
yeah. I mean, I don't see how that's anything to do with the Alien Earth story.
Yeah, but they weren't
I think
messing
that
with biotech. Just the mind going. I mean, taking the USB out of the human and putting it into the synth. I mean,
what are you
there was
talking?
no
Oh, you're talking about
biotechnology.
the cyborg.
Yeah,
Yeah, the cyborg. Yeah, the Weyland Yutani cyborg.
yeah. And then he says optimal technology reflects biology. Explain the engineers. Oh, okay. But they weren't doing biotechnology necessarily.
Yeah, they weren't. Prodigy was not working on biotechnology.
Right. And they just got the samples to mess with, so it's not like they were able to develop anything instantaneously out of
Correct.
it.
They didn't
Yeah.
have the alien. They didn't have the biological samples from other planets until the ship crashed in Prodigy City, which was in the first episode. So they had them for a very short period of time.
Really, Tool? Okay. Okay, that's fair, dude. I I don't know.
Don't have degrees. I have 2 PhDs.
Yeah, he does. He does. Uh
I
okay,
work as a I work as a research professor in Boston. I also have a master's degree in computer science.
there you go. He's got creds.
Nerds who don't have degrees. I have
Well, I don't
5
have the
college.
degree, so he's
I have
right on my
5.
account.
I have 5 college degrees.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he says GTFO. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll say
look.
the same to you, man.
Yeah, nah. we're explaining why I have issue with it. I mean, yeah, he's been doing R&D his whole life as well. Okay, yeah, we can agree to disagree, bro. That's fine. We're not name calling. Whatever. I I, I just had a little, like I said, a quick little blip, and I wouldn't be stuck on it. That's all. I get it. I get the technological aspects, but now we have magic to where she can remotely hear. Like, you have good hearing, and I guess you could.
Well, we're talking about
Yeah,
storytelling,
yeah,
and we're saying that they left the the telling out of the story.
on some of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they clearly did, right?
I'm
Especially
glad
since
that
then
the few
Alien
scenes of
Earth,
her.
I
Yeah.
especially since Alien Earth, and we talked about this at the beginning
Mm,
when it was
mm,
first when it was first kind of spoiled that they were doing Alien Earth.
yeah,
They kind of set it up that it was going to be a miniseries, and that the complete story was going to
yeah.
be explained in the one series, but it's
Right.
not what they ended up doing, unfortunately.
Right.
The-
Yeah, and
and
they
and
left the cliffhanger, but to me, that cliffhanger was just kind of like, okay, we knew where they're going with it. Here it is,
so
and
you said that
with
you
them
think that even
invading.
if they don't go to a second season, that ending could explain what happened to Prodigy. I'd like
Yes.
to hear you more elaborate on that, because
Yeah. Sure.
it's
Sure.
an interesting way to look at it. But so,
Yeah.
what do you think happens to? Do you think Wendy ends Prodigy, or what happens to Prodigy? Because remember, Prodigy can't exist in 2 years; it has to be gone.
Yeah, but we have it. Utani invaded. They're wiping them off the map, and
Gotcha.
then internally, Wendy's in control now, and it's just kind of like, we're gonna do whatever. It's like, okay, they could leave it there. I don't want them to, but they could leave it there. In a short explanation, as Ed is pointing out of how she could learn how to communicate with the alien, the little fireside chats he has with them. Sure, okay, I guess that could be an explanation. Um, but it doesn't explain how internally she's hearing them, like remotely, as in they're tapping into her, and I personally don't get, and it wasn't explained or stated that Prodigy did have biotech, beyond moving the brain or the copying the files over to the synth. So it nowhere did
Yes,
they say they have this
it's not there
ability.
in the storytelling.
It's just that's my hang up. I'm not dwelling on it. It's just that's my hang up. That's me personally. Now you personally probably have, you're looking at it more in depth than Ed would care to, but I it's interesting. We're talking about it. That's all, man. No need to get all butthurt at all. Um, so I get both of what you guys are saying is my point.
Yeah,
But
well, no, it's
yeah,
just like nerds who don't have degrees, GTFO. I mean,
yeah,
that's a
yeah. I
little
know.
that's a little much. If it was my chat, I would have banned them, but it's
Yeah. All
it's on
right.
my
Well,
it's
Ed,
okay. Anyway,
don't hate.
let's keep going.
Yeah, but hopefully we're good, man. But whatever. Anyways, long story short, yeah, they could leave it there if they really want to, because they never said anything about the company. Wayland Yutani can wipe out all the anything in history that they want, on that company, so no one would be the wiser. Those around the time that got cryo freezed and came back, you think they might mention something about it, but it's not important to them, so maybe they filter it out. I don't know, but in five,
Okay.
yeah,
No, no, I got you. So, literally,
yeah,
if there is no second season, you can just say, "Well, we saw the Weyland Yutani invasion fleet," and that's just it. Like,
basically.
yeah, yeah, no,
I mean, it's a
I
weak explanation, but I guess
but
I
you
could
could
leave it
use
there.
it, but you
Yeah,
could use it as the ending.
right, right.
Yeah.
Not where I'd want to leave it, but it could be easily explained. I mean, they can write a comic and sum it up real quick. and them wiping systems,
Well,
and there you go.
like I had said earlier about the direction that FX wanted to take the show, there is talk of a second season now. There's no confirmation of that second season.
Right.
There's no, but you know, producers and people that supposedly are connected to the show have said, they'd like a second season to be written and made. So we'll have to see if that happens.
Yeah. Well, I hope it does. Like I said, I didn't dislike the series. There was just some nuances and some things that didn't make sense to me. One of them, of course, was her instantly being able to communicate him with the alien. Just her. So she's the first. I guess she could have got extras. But
Well,
doesn't really
right.
explain
I was
anything.
trying to I was just
Yeah.
bringing that up. How like they do like point to the fact several times in the
Yeah.
show, especially from the boy genius, right? The boy cavalier,
Right.
about how he mentions she's the first.
Yeah.
She's the first, right? So
Yeah.
I'm thinking that maybe that must mean something to the story.
Maybe. I mean, she has to have extra stuff. So she's probably got like the super Wi-Fi connect, Okay.
Well,
But
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it would make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why continuously talk about how she's the first if it
Yeah.
didn't mean something more in the grand scheme of the story?
Right. I hope they flesh it out. That's all I'm saying. Um, and I'm not completely hung up on that. What I found really interesting, and this is something we'll wrap up here soon, but I did want to pick apart episode 5 a little bit
Sure.
because
Yeah.
I I was wondering, they entrust these people with the billions of dollars of equipment in this ship and this mission and all that, and a lot of um, the crew. That one guy was a complete dumbass. I was like, bro, like, how did he get this job? And then someone
Are you
explained
talking
to me,
about like the engineers?
yeah, like he's an
Yeah.
engineer, but he doesn't like what? How did he get this job? Because he's kind of learning a little bit with the crew, and they
Oh,
developed that pretty good.
the
Yeah,
apprentice engineer, the younger
the
one.
apprentice engineer. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like, how did he get this job? And it's like someone said it to me, and I thought it was very interesting. We kind of touched base at the very beginning of the show. That the contracts they take, they get shares in the company when they fulfill their contract. And these contracts are like centuries long because they cryo freeze them for 65 years at a time. So any family will pretty much be gone by then.
Yeah.
So we're talking the dredges of the earth are like, yeah, I'll take that job, you know? So I was like, oh, okay, that it makes sense to me now. Why they'll hire almost anyone because they're literally throwing their life away. Maybe they didn't have much of a life to begin with. So, okay. And
Yeah. Good point.
and the security guy, he's past that point of caring for family, and I guess he has a daughter, still alive or something. Is that what I remember correctly, or no? His
Yes,
family's long
he had
gone.
a yes, you're right. He had a daughter um, when he left Earth. Yes.
When he left, but he's back
Yeah.
from like a 65-year mission, right?
Right. That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was out for
Okay.
65 years. Yeah.
So she might still be alive, but she's like a senior. So if she's
Yeah.
alive,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Definitely. She'd be like what, in her 70s, maybe.
Something. Yeah.
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 We
So
don't know the exact ages, but just making like a guess. You
yeah, and they have the cryo freeze technology. They can do it. Cool. We get that. It's been established since whenever. So these people just they don't they know their family is going to be long gone by the time they get back to Earth. So they'll hire almost anybody. and they loosely covered that in Romulus too about the contracts. You have to put in your time, and then willy nilly,
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh yeah, you did. No, you didn't. Here you go. You're fucked." I'm like, "Bro." So in 5 though, that was just very interesting to me that that they hired that dumbass, and it just bugged me a little bit. And then someone just told me that. I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense." So, but it's just interesting, he hired the guy, the one, I don't even know what department he was in, but he's the one that sabotaged the ship. And it was just weird to me also how Homie just didn't care about the crew at all. He's strictly business, so it's like protect the assets, everyone else can go, you know. So,
Well,
but
remember in
mhm,
Alien,
yeah,
how Ash acted.
mm,
The synth Ash,
yeah,
he only cared about the asset as well.
yeah, that's true.
So
So,
Wayland Utani always seems to have their trump card on the ship.
yeah, and they didn't
And in the movie
anticipate it falling
Alien,
into right.
they didn't even know he was a synth at first.
Oh, right, yeah, huh. Uh,
They didn't know he was they didn't know he was a synth until later in the movie.
right. And they did that. They did the same thing with the father figure too. So the exact
Yeah,
same thing. We didn't know till
yeah,
the end.
exactly.
Yeah,
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 exactly. Yeah.
yeah. So,
So
hey,
you were saying like basically that the cyborg basically sacrificed the crew.
yeah,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
protect the
no,
assets,
right, right. Seems
and
to
they
be
could reverse the crash course. So there you go.
yeah,
Um,
seems to be a Wayland Yutani directive.
always, it's been in
They
every
don't
movie.
they don't
The
care
Sith
about
always
anyone.
is like, yeah, we're gonna backstab you now. Just like, okay,
Yeah,
I expect it.
yeah.
But all in all, guys, I am not bashing the show completely. I just there was a few things that kind of irked me a little bit, and we had a little bit of adversity earlier, but that's fine. We're nerds. We're talking about it, man. What do you want? um,
Well,
but anyways,
we
yeah.
don't need to tell people to GTFO.
Well, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Well, anyway, we'll move
I
on.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sorry about that. And whatever, he would tell me to GTFO too if I didn't see his point. So whatever. We're homies. It's fine. We'll figure it out. Anyway, anything else you want to chat about the show? I kind of talked about.
again,
Yeah.
I think I would have liked to have seen a complete story in the 8 episodes.
Mm,
Um,
yes, me
I
too.
get that. I get that's not the direction they went in, or not the direction the writer went in. I'm not going to speak for
Mm,
the writer.
mm,
Um, he's the one that was writing it. It definitely seems like their intention is at least 2 seasons. I would love to see that second season. I hope
yeah.
that it doesn't end here. I
Yeah.
um, I I hope that they go in that direction and they do they do green light that second season. Get you know I know it's going to, and if they do it, I know it's going to be a while till we see it, which is probably
Probably a
like
couple of years at least.
yeah, a couple years, which is disappointing as well. But
Yeah.
I'd still like them to do it. I want to see how it all plays out. And you made a good point that hey, look, Wayland Utani is sending in an attack force, so maybe they just kill everyone.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, okay, if we have to take that as the ending, then I accept that as the ending, definitely.
Yeah,
But
and it's just
I'd love to see how it plays out.
Me too. Me too. I will watch the second season. There's some quirks in the writing that I have issues with, and like I said, for me, if they, it's kind of, I don't know, man. The internal dialogue with her and the alien was just kind of weird, man. Like that's not, it didn't make sense to me. If it made sense to you, cool, happy for you. It just didn't to me. That's all. Um, the technology and
Well,
the
I
hacking and
want
stuff
to.
I can get.
What I want to see is I want to see
Yeah,
them make. I want to see the writers make it make sense. You
that's fair.
know,
Yeah. Hmm.
I want to see in a second season them explain how she can do that, right?
Right.
Um, and I'd love to see that. That's all. I'd love to see, uh, you know, how it happened.
Yeah. And see what the kids end up doing. You know, they have free reign now of the island, so what are they gonna do? You know, the attack forces coming in, they can, you know, take care of the problem, and we don't know anything about it moving forward because Wayland just took over and that was it, and there was no need to have that in systems and stuff, right? So okay, it's just kind of weak for me. That's all. I
Right.
hope
Like I said
flesh it out
before
in the season two.
yeah, before that season 8 came out, I thought
Yeah,
that like the final episode would just be like Wayland Utani nuking because
yeah,
clearly when we get to the Alien movie,
yeah,
Wayland Utani is looking for another xenomorph.
right.
So the xenomorph that's on the Earth right now is going
Oh, and don't forget
is wiped
his
out.
little buddy, the little buddy that they made out of a lung.
Oh, right, the lung.
Yeah,
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 the second xenomorph. Because right now there's two xenomorphs, right?
yeah, yeah,
At the end there's
yeah.
two.
Yeah, there's two. There's two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Uh,
there's the alien that goes into your eye socket and controls your brain.
oh yeah, that guy. That's my hero, bro. I know
Yeah,
we didn't even touch base on him. That's like that is the one reason why I'm still like invested because I want to find out about the eyeball dude.
I
Like that guy's awesome.
I was wondering if that if because he
Yeah.
did at the end he did get into that dead body
Mm-hmm.
that was on the beach,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if he can clearly bring that body. I'm guessing that he can clearly bring that body back to a usable state, and if he's going to be able to talk.
Yeah, because remember he took over the other guy. Was it in 5 or whatever? He took over one of the guys, but he still wasn't able to talk.
Oh, he wasn't able to talk. Okay, all right, that's
Yeah.
right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Like he was
Okay.
making grotal sounds, but maybe he'll figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
maybe
it,
with a little time and him kind of melding more with the brain,
mm,
maybe he'll be able to actually speak English.
yeah, that would be great. He's getting closer. I don't know what he can
that
do
would
with the
be
dead body,
interesting.
but
That would be interesting
uh,
to see.
yeah. And this guy, like, it, I didn't know if he was aligning with the humans because it felt like sometimes he was helping them, sort of like when he was taking on the
It
alien.
definitely this alien definitely seems like it views the xenomorphs as an enemy.
Yeah. And it, or if it was just trying to be the alpha, or if he was actually protecting the other people. That's what I wonder, you know.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
he's the most
We're not
interesting thing of the
sure.
whole show.
Yeah, we're not. We're definitely not sure. But I felt that
Yeah,
this alien views the xenomorphs as an enemy.
yeah, makes sense. He's
I
definitely
don't.
not aligned with Wendy, so
Right, right. Yeah, I felt that as well. I felt that as well.
yeah. So he might be the big bad season 2, maybe, or maybe he figures out a way not to look as abnormal and just infiltrates our society. I don't know. But this guy's my freaking hero. I love this thing, man. Uh, when it was in the sheep and it was kind of communicating, and then like he was telling the reading out pie and like grunts and stuff. It was cool. This guy's a little smart bugger. I want to see the second season just to see what homie does.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's a cool creature. So I want to see how it plays out for this alien.
Yeah.
And I thought the aliens that were eating non-organic material were also interesting. The ones that destroyed the one synth kid.
Yeah, and it literally melted his brain. I
Yeah.
guess they have acid like similar to the alien.
The
But
alien.
they were like an infestation that keep morphing, and then it was flying, and it was just like, whoa.
Yeah, and they
that weird
clearly,
plant thing.
They clearly were looking for some sustenance from non-organic material.
Right.
Which is bad for the synths.
Yeah. Yeah. They can grow, and maybe they consume organic and inorganic to grow their hive, because it's a hive, and like kind of like a hive mind, those weird insect thingies. And
Yeah,
I don't
they
know what
did.
the deal is with the plant.
I agree. I felt like they were acting like a hive mind themselves.
Yeah, and they were able to turn into different flying creatures and bugs, and just like honestly, a lot of imagination there.
Really cool.
Yeah,
yeah, which was really cool. So even to see in a second season, like what happens to these different alien species.
Yeah, I'm down.
Like would be cool, right? But we'll have to see. I don't know. Like I was just looking online to see if they greenlit a season 2, and I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Let me know. We might do this again down the road. I don't know. This is kind of my little friend show where if I see a series or something, I get some people involved and we talk about it. Whether we agree or not, that's not the point. And like I said, I always like diversity, and I do appreciate some discourse. So we had a little spout there, got nasty, but hey, whatever. We'll move on. Thanks guys for watching. Thank you, Grim, for coming on. I really appreciated a lot of the lore background, because like I pay attention to some of it, but not that much. So that was awesome, dude. I really appreciate you coming on.
I said, like I had to review. I watched other people reviewing Alien Earth, and I had to give a lot of the lore background to Farah for her review. So and I've seen all. I've seen all the Alien movies, everything, and all the Predator movies. So I've seen them all.
Did you like Prey?
The fact that no, I didn't like Prey because I forget what year it took place in. What year did it take place in?
I mean, it's possible. They have a bunch of hunters trying to prove themselves, and the guy threw that gun at her.
The what?
The gun. From the colonizer, the whatever, the gun. Remember handing it to Danny Glover, that gun?
Yeah.
I think that gun was in it. As being new.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Yeah. So it was all right. I won't go into that one.
Having her beat a predator.
Yeah.
So okay. Think back to everything that Arnold Schwarzenegger's character in Predator had to do to be the Predator. And not only that, he had to have a rudimentary understanding of technology. Right?
Right.
Because he understood how its vision worked. because even though that movie took place in the 80s, I mean, they understood that technology. So remember, he hit himself by covering himself in mud because he figured out that it was seeing him because it could see his heat, the heat that he gave off.
Right.
How would she have understood that?
And they weren't around a lot of mud. I guess she could figure it out, but because she wanted to be a hunter, so she's always been trained to be a hunter. So I guess I don't know. But I was just saying, Prey was all right. It wasn't my. Would you say Prey was better than the second Aliens versus Predator? Because that one was just like, what?
I would say I would go with the second versus Aliens versus Predator movie.
Okay.
Even though it was a bad movie, because Prey was definitely a product of the culture war.
Oh, yes. Yes. Got you.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And because Prey was a product of the culture war, no.
That's fair, bud. All right, guys. Thank you, everyone that tuned in today. If you watch this later, let me know your thoughts on it. If you thought we went anyway, let me know what your thoughts on the series was. I would appreciate it. And again, we have discourse here. We have diversity. We have it all. And I really do appreciate Grim coming on, and it was kind of fun, man. We went a little longer than I thought, but yeah, cool. Well, thanks, guys, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.